What's up, everyone? Respect isn't negotiated, it's commanded, and it happens in the first 7 seconds of any interaction, or it doesn't happen at all. You walk into a room, and people either instinctively respect you, or they don't. There's no middle ground. Machiavelli understood this better than almost anyone in history. He knew that power and respect flow to those who demonstrate natural authority through presence, not those who beg for it through achievement or words. Today, I'm breaking down 19 presence power laws from Machiavelli's strategic philosophy that let you command instant respect in any situation: meetings, social settings, negotiations, first impressions, leadership contexts. These aren't about manipulation or fake confidence. These are laws of natural authority that make people instinctively respect you before you even speak. Here's the reality most people don't understand. You can have incredible credentials, achievements, intelligence, and competence. But if your presence is weak, you get no respect. Meanwhile, someone with half your qualifications but strong presence commands the room. Why? Because humans are still primitive in how we assess authority. We respond to presence signals first, credentials second. If you've ever felt invisible despite being competent if your ideas get ignored, then repeated by others who get credit if you have to fight to be heard in meetings if people don't take you seriously, your problem isn't competence, it's presence. These 19 laws fix that. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to embody authority so naturally that respect flows to you automatically. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the 19 laws, you need to understand Machiavelli's philosophy of virtue and why presence creates respect more powerfully than achievement. Machiavelli used the term virtue to describe personal power, effectiveness, and the quality that makes great leaders respected and followed. It's not virtue in the moral sense, it's capability, presence, and demonstrated competence. He observed that princes and leaders who possessed virtue commanded respect naturally, while those who lacked it struggled for authority regardless of their position or achievements. Here's what Machiavelli understood about respect. It's not given to those who deserve it or earn it through credentials. It's given to those who embody authority through their presence. You can be the most qualified person in the room, but if your presence signals weakness, uncertainty, or need for approval, you'll get no respect. Meanwhile, someone less qualified but with strong presence commands immediate authority. Why does presence work this way? 3 reasons. First, humans still operate on primitive social hierarchies. We instinctively assess who holds authority through nonverbal signals: how they carry themselves, control space, manage attention, demonstrate confidence. These assessments happen in seconds, before conscious thought. Second, respect follows demonstrated competence and control. When your presence signals that you're in control of yourself, your space, and your emotions, people instinctively defer to you. Third, neediness kills respect. The moment you seek validation, approval, or demonstrate that you need others' respect, you lose it. Authority flows to those who are unbothered by whether others respect them. The 19 laws I'm about to break down are organized into 5 categories: physical presence that commands space, verbal presence that commands attention, social presence that commands group dynamics, psychological presence that commands perception, and strategic presence that commands specific situations. Each law is immediately applicable. You can implement these today and see results instantly. That's the power of presence. It works immediately because it operates at the subconscious level where respect is actually determined. Category 1. Physical presence laws. Machiavelli observed that great leaders command space naturally. These 4 laws teach you how to use your physical presence to signal authority before you speak a single word. Law 1. The territorial dominance. Law, Machiavellian principle. A prince must show that he owns his territory. Applied to presence. Command the space you occupy. Never shrink yourself to fit into spaces. The law, Take up appropriate space confidently without apology. When you enter a room, you should subtly expand your territorial presence. How you stand, where you position yourself, how much space your body language occupies. Most people with weak presence unconsciously make themselves smaller. Crossed arms, hunched posture, standing in corners, occupying minimal space. This signals low status and invites disrespect. Strong presence means expanding appropriately. In meetings, you don't squeeze into the smallest chair or corner position. You take a central visible position. When standing in groups, you don't curl inward or hunch. You stand with open posture that naturally occupies space. This isn't about being obnoxious or space invasive. It's about not apologizing for your physical existence. Implementation. Notice when you shrink yourself. In your next meeting, choose a more visible position. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart instead of crossed. Let your arms relax at sides or in open positions instead of defensive crosses. When sitting, sit back in the chair using its full space instead of perching on edge. You're signaling through space occupation that you have every right to be present and take up room. People subconsciously respect those who command their territory. Law 2. The deliberate movement law. Machiavellian principle. Move with purpose and others will follow. The law. Every physical movement should be deliberate and controlled, never rushed or fidgety. Machiavelli understood that leaders who moved with intention commanded more authority than those who moved reactively. Watch people with weak presence. They fidget constantly, shift weight nervously, make unnecessary movements, touch their face or hair repeatedly. Every fidget signals anxiety and uncertainty, which kills respect. Strong presence means controlled, purposeful movement. When you move, it's deliberate. When you're still, you're completely still. You don't fidget with pens, phones, hair, clothes. You don't shift your weight nervously. You don't make unnecessary adjusting movements. Every movement has intention. This signals supreme confidence and control. You're so comfortable in your own presence that you do not need nervous energy release. Implementation. For 1 week, eliminate all fidgeting. Notice every time you touch your face, adjust your clothing, shift unnecessarily, or make nervous movements. Consciously stop. When you need to move, to gesture, walk, adjust position. Do it with full deliberate motion, then return to complete stillness. People will notice the change immediately. Deliberate movement signals that you're in complete control of yourself, which makes others instinctively respect you. Law 3. The postural authority. Law, Machiavellian principle. The appearance of strength is strength itself. The law. Your default posture must signal authority through alignment and openness. Posture is the most fundamental presence signal. Slouched, closed, or collapsed posture signals defeat, low status, and insecurity. Upright, open, aligned posture signals confidence, competence, and authority. Most people's default posture is defensive. Shoulders rolled forward, chest collapsed, head forward, spine curved. This comes from phone use, desk work, and psychological defensiveness. It destroys presence completely. Authoritative posture means spine lengthened and aligned, shoulders back and down naturally, not forced, chest open, head balanced directly over spine, chin level with ground. This isn't military stiffness. It's natural alignment that signals strength. Implementation. Several times daily, check your posture. Feel your spine lengthen, shoulders drop back naturally, chest open slightly. Imagine a string pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Hold this for 30 seconds until it becomes automatic. Within 2 weeks, authoritative posture becomes your default. The instant respect increase will shock you. People unconsciously associate upright open posture with competence and status. Law 4. The strategic stillness. Law. Machiavellian principle. In stillness, there is power that motion dissipates. The law. Master the ability to be completely still and comfortable with it. This is advanced. Most people cannot be physically still for even 30 seconds. They need constant motion, fidgeting, adjusting, shifting. This constant motion bleeds away presence and authority. Strategic stillness means you can stand or sit in complete, comfortable stillness for extended periods. No fidgeting, no nervous movements, no constant position adjusting, just grounded, comfortable, powerful stillness. This signals such supreme confidence that you don't need movement to discharge nervous energy. Why it commands respect. Stillness is rare and signals apex predator calm. Think of how a lion sits completely still while lesser animals fidget and dart around nervously. Stillness signals you're not prey, you're not anxious, you're not seeking anything. You simply exist with authority. Implementation. Practice sitting or standing in complete stillness for increasing durations. Start with 1 minute. Work up to 5 minutes. Notice the discomfort and urge to fidget, then don't act on it. Master comfortable stillness and your presence power will increase dramatically. Category 2. Verbal presence laws. Machiavelli knew that how you speak often matters more than what you say. These 4 laws teach you to command attention through verbal presence. Law 5. The economical speech. Law, Machiavellian principle. Never say with many words what can be said with few. The law, speak less than others expect and make every word count. People with weak presence over-explain, over-talk, and fill silence with unnecessary words. They're unconsciously seeking validation through verbal volume. This destroys respect. Strong presence means economical speech. You speak in complete sentences with clear points, then stop. You don't over-explain. You don't repeat yourself. You don't fill silence. You make your point efficiently and allow it to land. Why it commands respect. Brevity signals confidence in your ideas. When you over-explain, you signal insecurity about whether your point is valid. When you speak economically, you signal that your words have inherent value that doesn't need justification. Example: weak presence. So I was thinking, and I'm not sure if this is right, but maybe we could consider, if everyone agrees, possibly trying the alternative approach, but only if it makes sense to everyone else. Strong presence. We should try the alternative approach. The second commands respect through confidence and brevity. Implementation. Before speaking, condense your point to essential words. Say it, then stop. Don't explain unless asked. Don't repeat. Let your words carry their own weight. People will lean in to hear you because you don't waste their time. Law 6. The declarative statement. Law, Machiavellian principle. Speak with certainty and others will believe you. The law, structure speech in declarative statements, not questions or qualifiers. Notice how people with weak presence speak. I think maybe. Does this make sense? Is this right? Don't you think? Every question and qualifier signals uncertainty and need for validation. Strong presence speaks in declarations. This is the situation. We need to do X. The solution is Y. No question seeking validation. No qualifiers weakening statements. Just clear declarations. This doesn't mean being inflexible or not listening. It means when you speak with conviction. Why it commands respect. Declarative statements signal you've done your thinking and stand behind your conclusions. Questions and qualifiers signal you need others to validate your thinking. Authority flows to those who declare, not those who seek permission. Implementation. Audit your speech for 1 day. Notice every time you turn statements into questions or add unnecessary qualifiers like kind of, sort of, maybe, I think. Eliminate them. Restructure questions into statements. Watch respect increase immediately. Law 7. The measured pace. Law, Machiavellian principle. Rush reveals anxiety. Pause reveals power. The law. Speak at a measured, unhurried pace with strategic pauses. People with weak presence speak quickly, rush through points, and fill every pause with words or filler sounds. Like. This signals anxiety and desperate need to hold attention. Strong presence speaks at measured pace, not slow, but unhurried. Comfortable pauses between thoughts. No rushing, no filler words. Just measured, confident pace that signals you're not anxious about losing attention. Why it commands respect. Measured pace. Signals you're confident people will listen as long as you speak. Rushing signals fear that they'll stop listening. Strategic pauses create anticipation and wait. Implementation. Consciously slow your speech by 20%. Insert full-stop pauses between sentences. Eliminate filler words completely. Pause in silence instead. Record yourself speaking to hear the difference. Measured pace immediately elevates perceived authority and intelligence. Law. 8. The strategic silence. Law. Machiavellian principle. Silence is golden when you cannot improve on it. The law. Master comfortable silence and never feel obligated to fill it. This is one of the most powerful presence laws. Most people are terrified of silence and compulsively fill it with unnecessary words, nervous laughter, or random comments. This desperation to fill silence destroys presence. Strong presence means being completely comfortable with silence. When someone finishes speaking, you can pause 3 full seconds before responding. When a meeting has silence, you don't rush to fill it. When an awkward pause happens, you sit in it unbothered. Why it commands respect. Comfortable silence signals supreme confidence. Only secure people can sit in silence without anxiety. Insecure people desperately fill it. When you're unbothered by silence, people perceive you as having higher status and authority. Example. After someone asks you a question, pause 3 full seconds before responding. This shows you're thoughtfully considering, not desperately performing. Implementation. Practice strategic silence. When someone finishes speaking, count 3 seconds before responding. Let silences in conversations exist without rushing to fill them. Notice the discomfort and sit with it. Master this and your presence power will increase dramatically. Category 3. Social presence laws. Machiavelli understood social dynamics and hierarchy. These 4 laws teach you to command respect in group settings and social interactions. Law 9. The selective attention. Law, Machiavellian principle. Give everyone a little of your attention, but no one all of it. The law. Control where and when you give your attention. Never give it freely or constantly. Attention is the currency of respect. People with weak presence give their attention freely and constantly. Always looking at whoever speaks, always engaged, always available. This makes their attention worthless and signals low status. Strong presence means selective attention. You give attention when deserved or strategically useful, but you never give it constantly. You might listen to someone while looking at documents. You might check your phone mid-conversation if it's not critical. You give attention as a gift, not a given. Why it commands respect. In social dynamics, whoever controls attention has power. When you give attention freely, your signaling others' value is higher than yours. When you make people earn your attention, you signal high value. Implementation. Stop giving constant attention in conversations and meetings. Look away occasionally when people speak. Be comfortable doing something else while half listening if the conversation isn't priority. Make your full attention rare and valuable. People will compete for it, signaling your higher status. Law 10. The unbothered composure. Law, Machiavellian principle. He who is disturbed by nothing disturbs everyone. The law. Never show that external situations or people affect your composure. This is critical. People with weak presence visibly react to everything. Someone challenges them and they get defensive. Someone criticizes them and they get upset. Something goes wrong and they panic. Every visible reaction gives power away. Strong presence means unbothered composure regardless of circumstances. Someone insults you, slight smile, unmoved. Project fails, calm assessment. Someone tries to provoke you, complete equanimity. You're visibly unshakable. Why it commands respect. Emotional reactions signal vulnerability and loss of control. Unbothered composure signals such a strong internal frame that external circumstances can't touch you. This is apex status. Implementation. For 1 week, show zero external reaction to anything negative. Someone insults you. Neutral expression. Something goes wrong. Calm response. Someone tries to push your buttons. Unmoved. Practice until unbothered becomes your default. This single law will increase respect dramatically. Law 11. The mystery maintenance. Law, Machiavellian principle. Never appear too familiar. Familiarity breeds contempt. The law, maintain strategic mystery about yourself. Never be completely known. People with weak presence overshare constantly. They tell everyone everything about their lives, feelings, thoughts, struggles. This makes them completely known and therefore uninteresting and disrespectable. Strong presence maintains mystery. You share selectively and strategically. You don't overshare personal details. You don't explain yourself constantly. You remain partially unknown, which creates intrigue and maintained respect. Why it commands respect. Mystery creates fascination and perceived depth. When people can't fully figure you out, they remain interested and respectful. When they know everything, you become mundane and respect fades. Implementation. Stop oversharing. When asked personal questions, give brief answers without elaboration. Don't volunteer unnecessary personal information. Don't explain your reasoning or justifications unless specifically required. Maintain strategic privacy. Watch how maintained mystery increases perceived value. Law 12. The approval independence. Law, Machiavellian principle. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Applied differently, it's better to be respected than liked. The law, never demonstrate that you need others' approval or validation. This is perhaps the most critical presence law. The moment you show that you need someone's approval, respect, or validation, you lose it completely. Neediness is the death of respect. People with weak presence constantly seek validation. They check if others like their idea. They need reassurance they did well. They seek approval for decisions. They modify behavior to be liked. Every validation-seeking behavior kills respect. Strong presence means complete approval independence. You share ideas without needing validation. You make decisions without seeking permission. You do what's right without checking if others approve. You're completely self-validated. Why it commands respect. Humans instinctively respect self-sufficient people and disrespect needy ones. When you don't need their approval, they want to give it. When you desperately seek it, they withhold it. Implementation. For 1 week, never seek validation. Don't ask, does this make sense? Is this good? Do you like it? State your ideas and let them stand on their own merit. Don't modify behavior to be liked. Be unbothered whether others approve. This immediately elevates respect. Category 4. Psychological presence laws. Machiavelli understood that presence is ultimately psychological. These 4 laws teach you to command respect through psychological dominance. Law 13. The emotional discipline. Law, Machiavellian principle. The prince must be a fox and a lion. The fox means controlling emotions strategically. The law, never display emotions unless strategically chosen. Master complete emotional discipline. People with weak presence are emotionally reactive. Their mood is visible. Their feelings are obvious. Their emotional state controls their behavior. This is weakness that destroys respect. Strong presence means emotional discipline. Your emotions exist internally, but you control what displays externally. You might be furious internally, but show calm externally. You might be excited but show measured interest. You choose what emotions to display strategically, never showing what you don't choose to show. Why it commands respect. Emotional control signals maturity, power, and higher evolution. Emotional reactivity signals lack of self-control and childishness. People instinctively respect those who master their emotions and disrespect those controlled by them. Implementation. Practice emotional discipline daily. Whatever you feel internally, display neutral composure externally unless you strategically choose otherwise. Someone makes you angry. Show calm. Something excites you. Show measured interest. Master the gap between internal feeling and external display. This is advanced presence power. Law 14. The Outcome Detachment Law, Machiavellian Principle. Fortune favors those who are not desperate for her gifts. The law. Never show that you're attached to or desperate for any particular outcome. Desperation kills respect instantly. When people sense you're desperate for a particular outcome, getting the job, closing the deal, earning their approval, winning the argument, respect vanishes and you lose leverage. Strong presence means outcome detachment. You want the outcome, but you're not desperate for it. You'll pursue it, but you're fine if it doesn't happen. This detachment paradoxically makes the outcome more likely because desperation repels, while detachment attracts. Why it commands respect. Attachment and desperation signal scarcity and low value. Detachment signals abundance and high value. When you're not desperate for something, people perceive you as not needing it, which means you must have options, which means higher status. Implementation. In any situation with desired outcomes, internally commit to being fine regardless. Job interview? Want it, but be completely fine not getting it. Negotiation? Prefer the deal, but be comfortable walking away. Relationship? Interested, but unbothered if it doesn't work. This detachment changes your energy entirely and increases respect. Law 15. The Standards Enforcement Law. Machiavellian Principle. A prince who is not firm in his resolve invites disaster. The law. Establish clear standards and enforce them absolutely without apology. People with weak presence have unclear boundaries and standards, or they have them but don't enforce them. They let people disrespect them, accept treatment they shouldn't, and fail to enforce their standards. This teaches people they can be disrespected. Strong presence means clear standards and absolute enforcement. You have boundaries about how you're treated, what behavior you accept, what standards you hold. When those standards are violated, you enforce immediately and unapologetically. Someone disrespects you, you address it immediately. Someone crosses a boundary, you enforce it without hesitation. You teach people how to treat you through standards enforcement. Why it commands respect. People respect those who respect themselves enough to enforce standards. When you tolerate disrespect, you signal low self-worth and invite more disrespect. When you enforce standards firmly, you signal high self-worth and command respect. Implementation. Identify your standards, how you expect to be treated, what behavior you won't tolerate, what boundaries exist. Next time someone violates them, enforce immediately. That's not acceptable. Don't do that again. I expect better. Firm, calm, absolute. Watch respect increase as you teach people your standards. Law 16. The Consequence Demonstration. Law, Machiavellian Principle. Men ought either to be indulged or utterly destroyed. Applied to presence. Demonstrate that actions have consequences. The law. When people disrespect you or violate standards, there must be visible consequences, or your presence has no power. This is advanced. If you set standards but never enforce consequences when they're violated, your standards become meaningless and your presence has no weight. Strong presence means demonstrated consequences. Someone disrespects you? There's a consequence. Reduced access to you, removal of opportunities, or direct confrontation. Someone proves unreliable? Consequence. They lose your trust and associated benefits. You don't threaten consequences. You demonstrate them calmly and matter-of-factly. Why it commands respect. Respect requires believing that disrespect carries cost. When your presence has no teeth, when violating your standards has no consequences, people stop respecting you. When consequences are real and demonstrated, respect becomes mandatory. Implementation. Next time someone violates your standards or disrespects you, implement appropriate consequences. Reduce their access to you. Remove opportunities you'd offered. Make the consequence proportional but real. Do it calmly without anger or explanation. The demonstration teaches respect far more than words ever could. Category 5. Strategic Presence Laws. Machiavelli was a master strategist who understood that presence must adapt to specific situations. These final 3 laws teach you to command respect in critical moments. Law 17. The First Impression Dominance. Law, Machiavellian principle. Never waste the opportunity afforded by a fresh start. The law. Master first impression dominance. The first 7 seconds determine respect trajectory. Research shows first impressions form in 7 seconds and are nearly impossible to change. These 7 seconds are based almost entirely on presence, not credentials or words. People with weak presence waste first impressions through weak handshakes, submissive body language, apologetic energy, or seeking validation immediately. Strong presence means first impression dominance. You enter with authoritative posture, make direct eye contact, deliver firm handshake, occupy space confidently, and speak with measured authority. The first 7 seconds establish you as someone who commands respect. Why it's critical. First impressions create a filter through which all subsequent interactions are interpreted. If your first impression signals authority, even mediocre subsequent performance gets interpreted positively. If your first impression signals weakness, even excellent performance gets discounted. You're fighting uphill forever. Implementation. Prepare your first impression ritual. Before entering any new situation, posture check, energy check, intention setting. Enter with measured confidence. Make strong eye contact. Deliver firm handshake. Speak first words with authority. The first 7 seconds set everything. Master this and you start every interaction from position of respect. Law 18. The crisis. Calm law. Machiavellian principle. In times of peace, prepare for war. In times of war, remain calm. The law. Your presence must be most powerful precisely when circumstances are most chaotic. This is where respect is truly earned or lost. Anyone can maintain presence when things are smooth. But when crisis hits, most people's presence collapses. They panic, become emotional, lose composure, make reactive decisions. This is when weak presence is exposed. Strong presence means crisis calm. When everyone else panics, you're visibly composed. When chaos erupts, you're the eye of the storm. Your presence actually strengthens during crisis because you're in your element while others fall apart. Why it commands ultimate respect. Crisis reveals character. People instinctively follow and respect whoever remains calm and in control when everything's falling apart. If you can demonstrate unshakable composure during crisis, respect becomes permanent and deep. Implementation. Next time crisis or high-pressure situation occurs, This is your test. Consciously slow down. Speak slower. Move more deliberately. Show visible calm. Everyone else will speed up and panic. You do opposite. Make measured decisions. Show unshakable composure. People will remember your crisis presence forever, and respect will cement. Practice this in small, stressful situations to build the skill for major crises. Law 19. The Exit Authority Law. Machiavellian principle. Know when to leave the table. The law. Master the power of the strategic exit. Be willing and able to walk away from any situation. This final law is perhaps most powerful. People with weak presence are trapped. They can't walk away from jobs, relationships, negotiations, or situations because they're desperate. This desperation is visible and kills all presence. Strong presence means exit authority. You're always willing and able to walk away. Bad meeting, you can end it. Disrespectful treatment, you can leave. Negotiation going nowhere, you can walk. This isn't about being difficult. It's about having genuine freedom to exit anything that does not serve you. Why it commands supreme respect. The person who can walk away has all the power. If you can't leave, you're essentially hostage, and everyone knows it. Respect disappears. When people see you're genuinely willing to walk away from anything, including them, respect becomes mandatory because they know you're not desperate to stay. Implementation. Build exit authority systematically. Financially, have emergency funds so you can leave job if needed. Socially, cultivate enough relationships that losing anyone doesn't devastate you. Psychologically, develop genuine comfort with walking away from anything. Next time you're in negotiation or difficult situation, be genuinely prepared to walk away if terms aren't acceptable. The moment you build real exit authority, your presence transforms because desperation disappears completely. This is ultimate presence power. Let's integrate these 19 presence power laws into a practical framework you can implement immediately. You've learned 5 categories of presence: physical laws that command space through your body, verbal laws that command attention through your speech, social laws that command group dynamics, psychological laws that command perception, and strategic laws that command critical situations. Here's how to integrate systematically. First, assess your current presence honestly. Which category is weakest? If people interrupt you constantly, you need verbal presence laws. If you feel invisible in groups, you need social presence laws. If you collapse under pressure, you need psychological presence laws. Identify your weakest category. Second, choose 3 laws from different categories to implement this week. Don't try all 19 at once. That's overwhelming and ineffective. Pick 3 that address your biggest presence gaps. Maybe territorial dominance, economical speech, and unbothered composure. Focus exclusively on those 3 for 1 week. Third, create daily practice rituals. Physical presence laws. Check posture 5 times daily. Verbal presence laws. Record yourself speaking and eliminate fillers. Psychological presence laws. Journal moments you showed emotional discipline or lost it. Fourth, test in progressive environments. Start with low-stakes situations to practice, then escalate to high stakes. Practice unbothered composure with friends first, then deploy it in critical business meeting. Fifth, track respect indicators. Are people interrupting you less? Are your ideas being taken seriously? Are you getting more attention in groups? These are measurable respect increases that show presence laws working. Finally, understand this is a practice, not a performance. You're not faking confidence. You're building genuine presence through systematic skill development. Over time, these laws become automatic, and your natural presence transforms completely. Before we conclude, let's cover the 5 most common mistakes that destroy presence and respect, even when you're trying to apply these laws. Mistake 1. Trying to implement all laws at once. This creates artificial stiff behavior that people read as fake. Result: you seem try hard and lose respect. Fix: choose 3 laws maximum, master them until natural, then add more. Mistake 2: confusing presence with aggression or rudeness. Some people hear command respect and become aggressive assholes. This isn't presence. It's compensation for insecurity. Real presence is calm authority, not aggressive dominance. Fix: all presence laws should make you calmer and more composed, never more aggressive or rude. If you're becoming aggressive, you've misunderstood. Mistake 3: inconsistency. You demonstrate strong presence one day, then collapse into weak presence the next. Inconsistent presence is worse than consistently weak presence because it signals you're performing, not embodying. Fix: whatever presence level you can maintain consistently is your real level. Build slowly and maintain. Mistake 4: seeking validation for your presence. Did you notice I was more confident today? This question destroys everything. The moment you seek validation for your presence, you've demonstrated you don't have it. Fix: implement presence laws silently. Never discuss it, never seek validation for it, just embody it. Mistake 5: giving up after one failure. You try unbothered composure and someone still disrespects you, so you quit. Presence is a skill that takes time to develop and for others to recalibrate to. Fix: commit to 90 days minimum before evaluating results. Early failures are learning opportunities, not proof it doesn't work. Avoid these 5 mistakes and your presence development will be smooth and effective. If this video showed you the presence laws you need to command respect instantly, hit that like button right now. Share this with someone who deserves respect but isn't getting it because their presence needs work. Subscribe because we're going deep into Machiavellian power dynamics. Next video breaks down how to identify and neutralize people trying to undermine your authority. Drop a comment telling me which of these 19 laws you're implementing first and which category you need most: physical, verbal, social, psychological, or strategic presence. Your comment might help someone else identify their presence gap. If you want me to go deeper on any specific law with a dedicated breakdown, let me know which one in comments. Here's your action step. Choose 3 laws from 3 different categories. Implement them this week. Track respect indicators. Are you being interrupted less? Are people taking you more seriously? Are you getting more attention in groups? These are measurable results that prove presence works. Remember Machiavelli's truth. Respect isn't given to those who deserve it through credentials or achievement. It's commanded by those who embody authority through presence. Stop trying to earn respect through achievement and start commanding it through presence. These 19 laws give you the blueprint. Now implement them. I'll see you in the next video.